All right. Welcome to Speech Fundamentals. I'm your instructor, I'm your guide, your facilitator for this journey, Professor Martin. Welcome to a new academic year, and I hope you are ready to develop your professional skills because that's what Speech Fundamentals is all about, developing your professional skills. So today we're going to go through the basics. I'll provide a little introduction about myself to kick off the class. So I teach this class at multiple universities. Some universities call it Communication 101, others call it Speech 101. Regardless of what the class number is, it's still speech fundamentals and the content is the same. What you learn is the same. To start out, I want you to think of yourself as a brand. Think of yourself as a company. You are the CEO of Me Incorporated, the CEO of Me Incorporated. And what that means is everything that you do as the CEO either increases or decreases your stock value. But what you do to increase and decrease your stock value is different than the person next to you, right? Everyone does something different to increase the stock value of their personal brand. It may be the knowledge that you gain, right? The skills that you've developed, the experiences that you've had, or the relationships that you've built. Well, in this class, we're going to have a little bit of all of that. We're going to provide you the knowledge of public speaking and communication. You're going to learn how to listen well. You're going to learn how to speak well. We're going to give you skills that are going to help you personally and professionally. You're going to have experiences in this class that you can refer back to in job interviews or conversations with future supervisors and relationships. It is our hope that you get to know each other, right? Build relationships with each other in this class. Get to know me, build relationships with your instructor, utilize me as a resource. So in this class, we're going to provide you knowledge. You're going to develop your skills as a communicator, experiences that you can refer back to in interviews or with conversations with supervisors, and then relationships that we hope that you will develop as a part of this class. So to start out, I want you to think about why should an employer hire you, right? Why should an employer buy what you are selling? Well, that's because you have a high stock value, and this class is going to give you that high stock value. But you will only get what you put into it. So you are in charge of this experience. This is your time. Only you know what you need. When we meet in class, in person, if we get to do that this semester, only you know what you need to make it through the class, whether that's caffeine or water or a snack. You know what you need to get the most of this course. So you are responsible for making sure that you get the most from this experience. Like I said, I'm your guide, I'm your instructor, I'm your facilitator, I'm your coach. But you have to do the work. You have to make the investment to get the most from this experience. I'm going to get paid either way, right? I'm going to get paid regardless. And so if you're not getting what you want from this class, that's something you need to talk with me about. That's something that we need to work together to make sure that you are developing and learning and growing through this class. But you are in charge of making sure that you are getting what you need from this class. People take this class for different reasons. You may be taking it because you have to, right? It's a requirement of you getting the degree that you want. And that's fine. A lot of people are here because they have to be, but others are here because they see the value of developing their communication skills, and this is the class that will help them do that. So regardless of why you're here, whether just to pass or whether you're here to actually develop and grow, I would encourage you to challenge yourself to do all of the assignments, challenge yourself to participate and be active and be engaged in class. When questions are asked, give answers, share what you think. I want us to have great dialogue, great discussion. There's, politicians to the governments to nonprofit sectors to other businesses. There's a lot that we can talk about. There's a lot of examples out there of both good and bad communicators. And I want us to talk through those things, talk through current events. And so, again, be active, be engaged, participate, and make this experience the best that it can be. I also like to share, for those of you that are interested in developing your skills through this class, some attributes that employers are looking for, because I don't know, I find it fascinating that employers, some of the top things that they look for are written communication skills and verbal communication skills, in addition to the ability to work on a team and problem solve. You're going to get an experience with all of those in this class. You're going to get an experience working in a team structure. You're going to work together in pairs on assignments and tasks. You're going to work together as a team to develop or present things. You're going to make decisions and problem solve as you go through that process. And ultimately, you're going to develop your communication skills both inside and outside of the classroom. I also like to share what employers view as influences and as far as hiring decisions. So one of the major influences as to whether an employer is going to hire you or not is, what is your major, right? Is your major relevant to the position that they're hiring for? Have you held any leadership positions, whether that's in college or whether that's in the community? What leadership positions have you held? Have you been involved in any extracurricular activities, right? Where you've maybe held leadership positions, right? Clubs, sports, student government, those type of things. What's your GPA? What's the school that you've attended? Have you done volunteer work? Are you fluent in foreign language? Have you studied abroad, right? Those are the things that employers look for. And according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, this is a survey from 2016, but the numbers haven't changed over the last few years. It stayed the same. This is what influences employers to decide who they should hire. And this class is going to provide you opportunities and experiences that you can refer back to when you are looking for a job or changing careers. So let me share a little bit about myself. Who am I? My name is Timothy Martin. I go by TJ in this class. You can call me Professor Martin. I've worked in multiple areas in both communication and higher education administration. I currently work in consulting, organizational consulting. I've worked in the nonprofit sector for a program called Team Focus. I've also worked in housing management at multiple universities, at the University of Alabama and Washington State University. I've also worked in housing at St. Xavier University and Roosevelt University. I've been adjunct faculty teaching transitions courses, orientation courses, communication courses, and leadership courses at Washington State University, St. Xavier University, and Harold Washington College. So, and I'm excited to teach this class. Speech Fundamentals is my favorite class out of all of them. For me, it was in college, it was a life-changing experience. It changed my career trajectory after I took that course. I do have a Bachelor's of Science in Speech Communications from Troy University with a minor in leadership development. And so a lot of what I'm going to talk about is that relationship between communication and leadership. We're going to take a look at servant leadership, civic engagement, and how communication and public speaking relate to those things. I also have a graduate degree. I have a Master's of Arts in Communication Studies, where I studied organizational communication, intercultural communication, and I did that at the University of Alabama. A subset of my studies at the University of Alabama, we're looking at leadership curriculum and the language that we use in leadership curriculum. So I carried that interest in leadership development, leadership studies into my graduate program as well. Some other relevant experiences. So I have been a nonprofit administrator. So if any of you are interested in going into the nonprofit sector, that's an area of experience that I have. I've been a motivational and keynote speaker. So when it comes to the actual delivery of speeches, I've done it and been paid to do it. And so I'm hoping that that experience is something that I can bring to the table to help you develop in your delivery of speeches. In addition to your designing and crafting and writing of speeches, right? Speech development happens in multiple stages. It doesn't start out with delivering it. It starts out with writing it and preparing it. So I want to help you learn that process and the best practices for how to do that. I'm a published author and conference presenter in the fields of communication and higher education. So if any of you are interested in going the academic route and knowing what it takes to be a professor, to do academic research at a high level, and to present that and have that published in academic journals. You're going to be looking at some academic journals as a part of your, part of the assignments that we have in this class. And so it takes a lot to be published in a peer-reviewed journal. And so if you're interested in that, that's an area of experience that I have. I've been a leadership trainer and facilitator of leadership conferences and leadership workshops. I've been a speech coach and forensics competition judge. I participated in speech competitions myself, specifically in the areas of poetry, persuasive speaking, and informative speaking. I've been a coach and, like I said, a forensics judge. Forensics is essentially what we call speech competitions. There's a variety of categories that people participate in when they do forensics competitions. But I've coached students going through that, and I've also participated in those myself. So the competitive public speaking circuit. And then I've been mostly a student affairs administrator, like I said, at the University of Alabama, Washington State University, at St. Xavier University, and Roosevelt University. And most of my time at each of those universities has been in housing, residence life and housing. I've also worked a little bit in the Dean of Students office, or Access and Disability Services, and Student Affairs Marketing have been some of the areas that I've worked in. So if you're interested in student affairs or higher education as a profession, definitely talk to me, let me know. So week one is pretty simple. We're doing self-introductions. I want you to look through the syllabus. I'm going to provide a lecture starting on week two. Readings will start out with kind of the first, second, and fourth readings, depending on which textbook you're using. This may be a little bit different, so look on the learning management system to see specifically what sections you're reading. One university uses a different textbook. I believe the Lucas textbook is what I'm using, and then the other uses the POPS open source textbook. So again, look to your learning management system to see specifically the chapters that you should be reading this first week. And then preparing for that second week is I want you to prepare a classmate introduction speech. So I'm going to pair you up via the learning management system. I might just also send out via email the pairs of everybody. I'm waiting until the registration gets settled. Registration kind of changes. People will come in and come out based on their schedule here this first week. But no, once I post that, you will have a week to complete that assignment of introducing each other, and I'll provide the requirements for that. So that's what I have. I hope you're as excited as I am for this class. I really am excited for this semester. I'm hoping we can meet each other in person at some point. With the pandemic, things are constantly changing, but know that we will at least do things via Zoom, or I will post assignments online for you. We may not, if we're meeting online, it may not necessarily be a synchronous meeting. It may be me video recording something and posting it for you to watch on your own time. So I will announce, each week what that's going to be. Are we meeting in person? Are we meeting online? Is that online time synchronous at the same time, or is it asynchronous? Is it on your own, right? And I'll let you know what those expectations are each week. So look for that on the announcements of the learning management system. If you don't have notifications set up so that you get notifications when I post announcements, you got to do that, because that's going to be how you know what's happening. But always, if you have a question, send me a text. That's the easiest way to get me. Send me a text or send me an email, and I'll do my best to respond within 24 hours. All right, thank you all so much, and I look forward to watching your self-introduction videos. Take care.